Hey Living Water, it's Pastor John, and I'm here to bring you a gathering update. Don't forget that you can always find the latest updates about how we are in the process of gathering together again at livingwater.com/gathering updates. But before I do that, let me tell you a quick story. If you were in my office and were behind where the camera is right now, you'd be outside on a field just beside the entry to the church. What you may not know is that 25 years ago, that was the Lighthouse. It was our children's ministry building that 25 years ago had seen better days. And just before I came to Living Water, this story unfolded that I'm about to tell you. The children's pastor at the time had come to the church council with a proposal to upgrade and refurbish the children's ministry building, the Lighthouse. And the church council, because of their commitment to always proceed in unity of spirit. You see, our church council, like our pastoral team, like you, I hope, are people that will take all the facts and all the circumstances into consideration, but ultimately we are people led by the word and the spirit. And so the church council was hearing the proposal, but they weren't coming to that place of peace and unity in their spirits, and so they said, we're not ready yet. Well, week after week, month after month, this pastor kept bringing the proposal to the church council, and they kept praying and coming back and saying, we're not there yet. We don't have that peace in our spirit. Children's pastor got so upset that he went to the pastor, Pastor Bert at the time, and said, can you get these men and women under control? We need to do this. It only makes sense. And Pastor Bert, classic Pastor Bert, said, until we know that we have unity, we don't go. Well, just a week or two later, the Lighthouse burned to the ground. Nobody was injured, nobody was hurt, it was not intentional. But the Lighthouse burned to the ground, and the insurance settlement from that incident enabled the church to pay off the mortgage on the sanctuary that had just been built and bring in 4 brand new portable buildings for kids ministry. The bottom line is this: they ended up getting far more than what the children's pastor was advocating, and never wasted any resource on refurbishing something that was going to burn to the ground. What's my point? My point is this: we are a community led by the Word and the Spirit. And as we've navigated COVID-19, 2020, we've done everything we can to remember these 5 things in the decisions that we're making: the Word, the Spirit, doctors, the governor's office, as well as elders. And those 5 things have guided our decision making. And here we are. So what's the update, Pastor John? Well, at this point, as we've sought insight from all those different channels and groups of people, we still have a settled sense that God is doing a reset work in the church. And I'll tell you some of the good things coming from that. But we are going to continue to focus our gathering energy in Living Water Wells, as well as online church through the month of July. And I'll update you at the beginning of August as we have another opportunity to assess what God is saying to our leadership and to the church. And as I've heard stories roll in like this one from a Living Water Well leader who said, I invited everybody from my life group and 2 families who'd not been able to attend church, and a couple of other couples, and then said this: I didn't realize until our first Sunday, and I was completely overwhelmed by God's goodness. He knew exactly who needed to be there. And stories like that of friends and neighbors and coworkers and family members who are coming together, of families who are experiencing church together with their kids in a way that they've never done that before, and the goodness of God, the way people have taken ownership of their neighborhoods and communities and workplaces to say, God's called me to live a missional life in my neighborhood. Those things are happening through your church. Now, neither one of us know what the future holds, but I know this: God's not on pause. He's not stopped. And He's doing a work in every single person who is willing to say, shape my life for your glory. So continue on this journey with me. Let's lay our preferences on the altar. Let's continue to press into the mission of God, be led by the Word and the Spirit, and we will not miss what God is doing in this moment in 2020. More to come in August. Stay tuned in on all of our social media channels and on Sundays at livingwateronline.tv. I can't wait to see you and continue to experience what God has for us in this moment. Don't miss it.